Some youths don't really have support to go to, say they want to go like speak to their mom or whatever about how they're feeling about their friend passing away. Some parents don't really know how to, like, what to say to their kids or something. Some parents are just ignorant and don't really care because it's not really their family or whatever. It's like one of their friends, and probably they never liked that friend who passed away or something like that. So it's like they won't show any remorse or something to their child, so their child will, like, it's hard for a child to deal with their grief, because if they go to their mom looking for support, or whoever is there in their life and their family, and they're not there for support, then who should they go to? It's like there's their friends, but their friends are probably going through the same stuff, the same the same stuff they're going through.
Well, for me, I think it's important within the family first to talk about it. When we hear of a loss, for us to check in. I think because of the work that I do, my one daughter in particular, she's really, and because she's the one that really feels it more. My other daughter, she tends to keep a distance from it. But Yanni, she called me today from school, and she said, "Mom, you wouldn't believe. Guess what, Mom? So was killed." And so I said, "Okay, what are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I spoke to, Miss Odell, the vice principal, and we're doing this, da 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 da." I said, "All right, so after school, you and your friends come home, and we'll think." And so I went out and I actually got these flowers for them. And, I got something for them. I set up a little circle. I lit a candle, and then I say, they poured libation, they poured some rum for him. And then I just said, talk about him. Tell me about him. What did you like about him? Well, I liked how he used to, da 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 da. And he used to always tell us, go to school and talk about how is this feeling for you? How do you feel about all the losses? And it was about my two girls and two other friends. And they just, they just talked about how they felt about this guy, who, like I said, as it turned out, is not dead. So I think that's great. But for me, it was just, as a parent, hearing the news and saying, you know what, I need to do something to support them. So then going out and getting, the flowers and getting, setting up a space, and said, okay, girls, they had dinner, and I said, all right. I brought out a bottle of Bacardi, and they're like, whoa. And I says, yeah, you guys can pour something for him, and then talk about, what you liked about him. Now, everybody don't have to go to that, place that I went to, but create a space for your kids to come to you, for your children to come and say, this is what happened, and this is how I'm feeling. And just offer. You don't have to have magic words, because I didn't have any words. I just said, I'm just doing this. You guys just talk about him. What did you like? What do you remember? How does this feel? How do you feel? Do you have any? How's all these killings affecting you? And so I think as a parent, I think we have a responsibility to do that, because our children are walking around burdened. Their hearts are heavy. And we're seeing a lot of behaviors that we're saying, oh, the youths are this and the youths are that, and they don't have no respect and they don't care and they don't want to go to school. But a lot of them, what's impacting on all of that stuff is a lot of pain, a lot of grief, a lot of trauma that is not getting spoken to, and that is just sitting inside, and like a big sore, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's really eating away at their hearts. So for parents, I say, talk to your children and give them permission to cry and to come to you and say, this is how I'm feeling, or I'm scared, or I'm sad, or whatever. I'm pissed off, I'm mad, I want to do this, I feel like kicking this, or whatever. Give them permission not to do that, but to express it. Because they're going to go outside and do something, and you want to be able to offer support where you can.
I think parents now need to be able to educate a little bit more, because now the age groups are younger. I mean, when I was growing up, 30 is when parents used to be having children. But now we have such young aged parents that they are not need to be supervised themselves, but they are parents also now. So I think we need to, Eddie, we need to get some sort of service that would help even young adults who are parents to be able to know how to deal with everything that we are be surrounded with.
Racism impacts our lives on a daily basis. Um, um, and the messages that we internalize from those experiences, or the messages that we internalize from going way back to how we were raised and how the people who raised us related to trauma and loss. But it's just that, you know what, I need to know now as a mom who's dealing with children who are dealing with a lot of loss of friends and stuff like that, that I have to be mindful that I don't pass on the messages that I got about, you know, well, she shouldn't have been in that place, or she shouldn't have been doing that, because then my kids are going to get the message that, oh my goodness, this whole thing about duality and good, bad, and right, wrong, which, you know, has no place when we're dealing with grief and when we're dealing with loss. It's a life lived, somebody that we loved, irrespective of what life they live. We need to, you know, we need to celebrate and give ourselves permission to mourn their leaving this life.